What's up, everyone? I'm Jason, this is Freebird Garage, back, flat tracker project, working on the heads. We got to do some work in order to get these fitted for the motor back there. Let's get to it. All right, so we are working on the heads and valve train on the upper part of our 883 to 1275 kit from Hammer Performance. It is the full package, all right? The big package. Ben, that one's for you. And we are doing the valve train setup now. This is gonna be a fun one because we gotta do some grinding. I'll give you guys a little better explanation of what we're doing here. So we have the rocker box, then you would have the spacer, like so here, that would go on top. And then of course you'd have your cover that would go on top. So what we are doing is that we are making room for the spring to go up and down and have its movement. So we got 4 spots where it's gonna be angled at. All the hard work for the valves are going to be set and the springs are all set, are already done on the head by Hammer Performance, like we talked about earlier. But what we need to do to make room for that spring now is to remove this meat right here off of this aluminum. And the reason why everything's just bigger is because obviously bigger cams, bigger valves, bigger springs, longer duration of the cams, causing it to move up and down a little bit more. Now, it does say if you were to leave it the same, that would be fine, except for you would start to lose or have major problems with your horsepower because the valves will not seat properly. So we don't want to have that. So we are going to remove the meat. So in their image, essentially you could see there's like a bit of a extra aluminum when they made the casting, or when they grind away at the cast, you kind of see even where the previous marks were, a little rough already. And we're going to clean that up, and 0.025 to be exact is where that needs to be at. And in their image, essentially they went down right to the valve cover gasket area and smooth it out. So if we were to get a mic on this just to get an idea, is how much we need to take off. It ends up being just a little bit. They say that on their instructions, but then in their picture they have more of that meat removed. So when you use a die grinder, it's not perfect, so that's why I'm assuming they went with that area all the way down there to make it pretty much guarantee that's gonna clear. All right, so let's get away with doing some grinding and see how we end up and make sure we don't hit anything that's important. That's our first hole. Looks pretty good. So we will work on the second one now. Got this one done now. We're gonna do a test fit. Well, then we just have to do the springs here. Yep. That way we don't have to unwrap all of them yet, because it's keeping all the dust off of the insides of all the work. There we go. Beautiful. Let's see how this fits over. Let me tell you about customer service, all right? So this is some bullshit, all right? The fact that I had to grind away at this, put it on place in my head, and found that I had plenty of room made me question everything that I was doing, because trying to figure out if I had the right kit, everything was installed right, are these right, whatever, everything matching to the Sportster. And I went and called Hammer Performance because there was way too much room, or plenty of room on here. And they clarified that they used to use a wider spring on the rocker boxes. Well, that would make sense, and you obviously would have to grind it away. But they did away with that. They're now using a beehive style spring, which is a lot smaller up top and even gets a little bit wider, but still plenty of clearance just to run your stock rocker box. Well, and the instructions is to follow what the builders suggest to do, and that's what I went ahead and did, and we did it on one of them. But if you aren't careful enough and you go through or you damage anything, you just destroyed a rocker box for no reason. That's some bullshit. This is a part that is from '95. It's also original to the bike, and or if you're trying to just track one online, I guess that's another thing, but it's just another step in process that you would drive yourself up the wall trying to figure out what's going on. Just update the instructions. figure that out. I even got it on the guy. I said, so what the hell? So you go through this and then you destroy it and then just, oops, hey, you know, what do I do? Was I supposed to do? Oh, you didn't have to do that. You just can run the stock one. Put that online. Do that with your instructions, because they even said online with standard mechanics that go through this process on shops, that they go through and either mess it up or they go through the whole process and don't do it right, and then they destroy a rocker box that was perfectly fine in the first place. So I guess maybe I should just listen and put it on first just to double check. But it doesn't state that. It doesn't say just double check yourself. So fucking customer service for you there, right? Make sure you double check, I guess. You know, can never be too sure the instructions are actually right. But anyways, all right, so that's enough criping about hammer performance on that side. We're gonna get these cleaned up. So what we're gonna do is get these nice and polished bottom pieces all dirty up, because these still need to be cleaned up. And then we're gonna do actually a little grinding on top of the valve cover. I did clarify that with him, is that the push rods still will bump into the top of the valve cover assembly. So we need to grind out those, and those will be polished up. But we're gonna get to some work, gotta do some buffing, some cleaning. We're gonna bring back that original shine. This went back and forth in my mind whether or not if we're gonna go to a painted style rocker box on the outside to match, but I like that nice buffed aluminum finish up on top. Kind of puts a nice crown jewel to the motor, at least in my head. We'll see how it looks like after it gets actually on the bike. But anyways, that's what we're doing. Let's get to it. First thing we gotta do is get the bottom of these cleaned up. They're still got the little gasket. Luckily, these are the hard style gaskets that are on top, so they come off 10 times easier than the paper ones that get stuck on there. We gotta clean it all up. So we're gonna pull these off here. Click, click, bang, bang. There we go. Just easily. Don't want to gouge into that aluminum. That would kind of ruin the whole thing. But on top of everything else, who knows, you know? Maybe we need to do that just to make ourselves have one more challenge of getting through this here, okay? Pull this through. And what we'll do is I just want to clean up the bottoms while they're here. Nothing crazy. I'm using a fine like Scotch pad here. Just kind of breaks off that glue that they use, looks like on the bottom, or that factory glue bead that they have. That way we don't got to do that later after we get this thing polished and cleaned up. We're gonna clean up this beauty area, right? So it's kind of dusty, got a little bit of dings going on in there. We're gonna get all that cleaned up, dirty, nasty, all right? This will make everything look brand new, or at least newish. And we're gonna use this light blue style roller lock pad. This is like particularly for getting rid of oxidization, more of a finer cut. It's gonna scuff it up, so don't think that it won't scuff up something, or if you put pressure, you're gonna remove, but it's enough to just get that nice break off that aluminum and get us to the point where we can polish it up. If you use a brown or purple one, you'll eat right into it. If we had gouges that are really bad, then we probably would do something like that. But if you're trying to get into aluminum and you just wanna clean it up, if you have the possibility to do this, this would be the, I would say, less labor work of getting this cleaned up, all right? So we're all cleaned up. Took only about a couple minutes to get it all the way around there, right? So good to go there. And then we are going to hit this now with a 600 grit paper to get that perfection smoothed out or get some of those lines to disappear from the grind marks that we have there. You can go all the way up to 5,000, 6,000, 8,000, all the way all through your steps. I mean, don't go from 600 to 6,000. Go from 600 to 1,000, 1,200, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500, 3,000. If you really want that polished look, is a mere finish. But I know this is a motor part, and I want it so that if I have to go back around, I can just buff it and call it good. But there's gonna be a lot of wear, tear, dirt, grime, rust over the area. All right, so let's hit this up, and then we can start polishing it. there's a 600 grit hit right there. And it's got like that brushed aluminum look style to it. That should clean up pretty well. Got a little nick right there. We're gonna see if we can get that cleaned up a little bit more, but overall, we should be good to go. All right, so I'll see you guys at the buffer here in a moment. So let's talk buffing, all right? So I've used anywhere between my hand, a drill, and then I've used a grinder with a buffing wheel on it. And then this is the best way. It allows you to get all around the angles in order to get the right spots that you need polished and spots that you can't get to as much. These big old wheels allow you to press up and down. Now, I haven't found a spot where I really want to mount this yet, so this isn't recommended. Do not have this freestanding. I've already have gotten a couple close calls, but we're gonna use this for the time being. So this side will be the rough compound, and this side will be the polishing compound. So that side right here, make sure that's clear. All right, so we're using these bars right there. There are stuff that you can use by hand afterwards, but this is gonna give us the most amount of polishing on this to bring back that nice mirror finish on the aluminum. So if you're wondering what I'm doing or what I'm doing it with, this is very inexpensive as compared to the hours it takes to do it by hand or by your drill, and allows you to be stationary when you get it done. All right, so let's get this going. And if you're gonna use one of these or use anything like this, these things fling shit everywhere. So anything behind it, around it, you wanna make sure that you're pretty much capped off so that you don't get that destroyed. And or I have my motor covered and covered again, just because of the amount of floating particles that these things produce. You get a nice finish, but it leaves a mess. All right, let's get it done. Now we're gonna hit it with our polishing side here. So we have the top of the valve cover we gotta clean up as well. It's all nasty, grimy, so we're gonna get this nice and polished up so it matches the rest, all right? All right, we've done the rocker boxes, we've done the spacers, and now we are on the valve covers, all right? So getting into these in order to make them fit after talking to Ham Performance, after he told me that yes, the rocker boxes don't need to be cleared out, but they do need to be cleared out for the valve covers in particular. The new rockers from S&S will end up tapping this cover. In order to make clearance, we gotta grind away up here. So these notches right here are all gonna disappear, essentially make a nice smooth swoop in this area, so that makes enough room for those rockers to come up and get those push rods some clearance, all right? So let's give this a shot. We don't got a lot of meat to deal with here, so very carefully, let's grind away. That should give us enough steadiness to be able to grind away. Let's see how this rips. God damn it. All right then. Well, after many years of owning my angle grinder, I finally took a shit. No juice on it, no bearings probably, the seals are probably shot out, whatever's inside, I'm pretty sure it's the bearings, the needle bearings in particular, that have been shot. It says oil daily. I don't do that. Why would I oil this thing? It's like my #1 tool. Why would I take care of it? Probably would have been fine if I just oiled it daily, but you know what? It's time to get a new one. These things are, I shouldn't say cheap enough, but they are pretty inexpensive you can get. So getting a new angle grinder so we can finish this. That's what you really came here for anyways. We got the one side done. That's the before and after, and I'm stoked. It looks good. Smoothed out a lot better than I thought it would. It looks just like the Hammer Performance website for what you should look for. So we're almost getting there. We got some stuff polished. We got some stuff grinded. And then we can get this stuff on the motor, all right? Well, for now, guys, that'll wrap us in this one. I would greatly appreciate if you could hit that subscribe button, tap that like, press the notification, leave a comment below and tell what you think. And for those who've already subscribed, thank you as always. Stay free. Catch you guys later. Peace.